It's time for Yamhill County Tomorrow, a service of KLYC. OregonEVChargeRebates.com is a proud supporter of Yamhill County Tomorrow. Here's your host, Todd Edwards.
KLYC. Good morning. Todd Edwards here. Thanks for hanging around. It is time for Yamhill County Tomorrow. And with us today is Amy Hall. Amy she manages McMinnville Antique Mall. Amy, thanks for being with us this morning. We do appreciate it so much. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Well, you are the manager of McMinnville Antique Mall. I think your husband owns that, correct?
Yes.
Is he a pretty good boss for you?
Well, I do I do everything I want, so he's a great boss.
I completely understand how that works. Kind of works that way around my house. So you have a fairly large antique mall here in downtown Mac. And where exactly are you here in Mac?
We are right next to Key Bank at 334 Northeast 3rd Street in downtown.
And on historic 3rd Street.
Yes, sir.
You have a lot of stuff, a lot of times when you go to an antique mall, you rummage through and there's like knick-knacky stuff and this, that, and the other. Yours is pretty on top of the game. You've won some awards for what goes on in your mall and what you have and how you operate.
Yeah, we've got the some local awards for Best of Mac and things like that. We're also a member of the Downtown Association and the Chamber. No awards there yet, but you never know. We've been nominated. We've been nominated, so that's great.
Good deal. And you have quite a bit inside the mall. How many vendors do you have?
We have right at 50 vendors. I think it's counting 48 right now, but there's about 60 spaces in the store because some vendors have more than one space.
How did you get started in the antique business?
Oh, well, I actually started getting old vintage wood boxes and redecorating them with my mom as a hobby. And we started selling with Tracy, who was the original owner of the mall, in 2014, just redecorating and embellishing boxes. And that's all we did was boxes. And then I started finding vintage Italian music boxes that kind of went with my other boxes. And I just kept finding more and more vintage things to add in. And it just kind of exploded.
I understand how that goes. It kind of goes that way in my basement. You find some things, and then the next thing you know, you got a lot of them, and you become the well-known person and the collector of those items.
Yes, absolutely.
So if I'm looking for antiques with the vendors that you have, what kind of things do you have that other vendors have in your mall?
Oh, we have such a variety. That's a hard question to answer. We have as tiny things as sterling rings and as huge things as sideboards and buffets. So from tiny to huge, we have just about everything you can think of in between.
Now, what are your hours that you're open?
We're open from 10 to 5 every day.
Monday through Sunday?
Yes, sir.
That keeps you busy.
Yeah.
And a good manager should be busy.
Yeah, we stay that way. I have several staff members that help me run the mall. It's on a volunteer basis, and I'm kind of the volunteer manager. So it's all volunteer run. So it's pretty cool.
So if somebody wants to get involved and maybe volunteer, they can contact you?
They could. I'm kind of selective about who I let in because we try to keep it a really positive, upbeat environment for the customers and for the staff. So it's kind of a happy place for customers and staff alike. And the vendors kind of feel like it's a home away from home.
Now you have a website as well.
We do. It's McMinnvilleAntiquesMall.com.
And you can go there, kind of see who the vendors are, your hours, phone number, everything like that is on the website.
Yes, there's even a become a vendor tab on there. If somebody's interested in becoming part of our vendor family, there's a way to do that on there as well. So
let's say I'm somebody from, not from Mac, and I'm on your website and I go, hey, there's stuff on here I would like to see. What kind of a process would that be for somebody, that's say outside that may run across your website to contact you and maybe see if you have something?
Well, we list our phone number, which is a cell number, all the time on the website. There's also the email contact. People can message me, contact me, Facebook, Instagram, or call, text, or email us. If they're looking for something on the website, I can't guarantee it's still there because it's kind of just a glimpse into what type of things the vendors carry at that point in time. I update the website about every 6 months. So some things that you see on there could be gone, but it gives you a flavor for what each vendor brings to the mall.
You know, with summer coming on and the UFO Fest this weekend, I'm sure you're going to be busy.
Yes, we will. We have all kinds of stuff for the UFO Fest every year. It's a great event and we love to be part of it.
It ought to be a pretty good weekend, even weather-wise, for it. So hopefully you get a lot of folks in the door. And are you always out, and I assume all your vendors are out, you know, looking for other items and things like that and dealing as well?
Yeah, everybody's always on the hunt for something. My personal favorites are old books and vintage music. So that's my favorite thing, but I sell a lot of different things in the mall.
Speaking of music, do you see a lot of vinyl starting to come back? Do you get a lot of used records and things like that through?
We have more and more records coming in every day. I have my own big section, and I have another vendor that has a large section. We have like 5 other small sections of vinyl in the store, and we have young people and people my age and even older. It's a wide variety of age ranges that come in looking for vintage vinyl. So it's definitely making a comeback.
What's one of the most unique items you've seen come through the mall?
That's hard. Oh,
They're
used
all
to have
unique.
a vendor that did steampunk lamps, and he would make unique creations out of old tea kettles and industrial parts and make lamps. He's no longer with us because he moved up to an island in Washington. He always had really cool things. We've had beautifully carved Chinese chest, like a dowry chest. It was beautifully carved. We've had that in our booth. And we've even had like a whalebone, a vintage whalebone from the 60s that washed up on the beach in the 60s in the store once. So
Wow.
somebody bought that. Yeah. But you never know what you're going to find. It's always something different.
All the more reason to stop in.
Absolutely. Something new every day.
And you're on historic 3rd Street here in Mac, open every day. And you're usually around there just about every day?
I'm there a lot, not quite every day, but I pop in most days. So, and I work as staff 3 or 4 days a week.
All right. So if you're looking for some good antiques, stop by and see Amy Hall at McMinnville Antique Mall on 3rd Street here in Mac. Amy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I hope you've had
the opportunity.
I hope you've had a great time, and we look forward to seeing what all the McMinnville Antique Mall has.
Awesome. Thank you for supporting our community businesses.